Hi foodies, this is Jenny here from Jenny's Walk, and today I'm going to make a signature traditional dish for you coming out of that beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago. Today I'm going to be making Murtani. Murtani is of the East Indian descendants. It's a condiment. It can be eaten by itself. You will find this in a lot of weddings and prayers and occasions when you go and you have that nice dinner table there all put there and ready for you. It's a bit spicy. What it does, it complements your food, especially like the vegetarian food, like the curry and boulders and rice and pumpkin and roti, the bus up shot and all of that. It's a bit spicy, but it includes 4 different types of vegetables that you're going to give a nice char roast together. And we're going to combine them, infuse them with lots of spices and nice herbs. And you're going to get a lovely complement there from that beautiful vegetables. So to make this lovely murtani, we're going to be using okra, ladyfingers, bindi or okra, some nice young okra. You're going to get some of that. And the star of the show would be the eggplant, a nice eggplant. You could use the purple eggplant, the Korean eggplant, known as aubergine, balanjan, baigan. There's so many different quality there. This one is very meaty and it's very heavy in the texture of it. So I'm using this. You could use the Korean, the white one, the brown. There's so many different ones out there. In the comment below, let me know which one you try. Of course, I love the Korean one. It's more sweetness to it. But I'm going to be using this today. We're going to be using 1 ripe plum tomato. Get it really ripe and nice so it's going to let a lot of redness out. So those are the 3 vegetables. And I have one more. I'm going to be using mini sweet peppers. This is going to give it a lot of flavor. It's not like the bell peppers with a lot of water in it. This is going to give a nice subtle taste in there. And I'm going to be using bird pepper for some little heat, my garlic of course, and I'm going to be using shallots and red onion to use in my dish. And of course, you know, the islands, they love this ricau or bandanya or shadow benny. I'm only going to be using the top part of it. The top part of it have a lot more flavor, bursting with flavor. I'm going to be using that. And so in here, and of course a little drop of lime or lemon juice, because some foodies will say, I know me and my family, we get a little itch from the aubergine or the baigan or balanjan. So we're going to put a little squeeze of this in there, and I'm going to be infusing it with some lovely spices as we go along. So first, before we get started, here I have my baigan or balanjan. We're going to give it a nice little slit right here. I shivered the garlic, so we just want to just puncture there. Give it a good raise with your thumb and slide those garlic in there. So what this is going to do while this is roasting and getting all char and nice, that garlic will infuse itself into the meat of the eggplant or baigan. There you go. And I put a piece of chili peppers there too. I also want to cut the bottom. I hope it's not tough. The guy said it's very young. I'm not too good in choosing. So just stick it in just like so. Lovely. And just leave the head and the tip of your okra, because, or ladyfinger, bindi, do not cut it off. Leave it just like so. And our tomato, leave everything just like so. And our peppers. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to give it a good spray, or if you have your brush, you could just brush on some oil on it. And I'm going to put this in open flame. If you have your barbecue pit, you could go ahead and put it on your barbecue pit. I do not have one, so I'm going to be doing this stovetop. Lovely. Now, if you wish to roast your garlic, roast your hot peppers, we're going to put them into roast. Just rub a little oil on them. And let's get this now roasting. So foodies, here I have all of them roasting really nicely on a nice low heat. Let's just get them a nice char, and we're going to get the eggplant and the tomato really cooked really nice inside. Okay foodies, so let's put this lovely murtani together. So here I have the eggplant. This has already been charred. I put it in a foil paper. You get the same type of char if you put it on the stovetop. But you just kind of saving that big mess there on the stovetop. So this is what your eggplant, balanjan, melanjan, aubergine would look like. So we get it all out. And here in my platter, I'm going to show to you everything, what's going on here. Just give it a good scrape. See how gentle and nice all the meat is coming out of it. Awesome. And it's really cooked. Soft and nice. Lovely. Yeah, so you get as much as you can out of that eggplant. So foodies, what I went ahead and I did, I took the seeds out of the okra and a lot of the char from the peppers. Oh, I missed one of the pepper. So you leave and you take out a little film from around it. So here is the peppers. I took all that skin out. So we have a nice little char peppers sitting here. I roasted 2 Kashmir peppers. It's really flavorful. So I took the seeds out of the okra because I do not like all that bunch of seeds in there. So what you're going to do now, you're going to give it a little cut. Just like so. Cut them up so it'll be easy to, whether you're using your food processor, your mortar and pestle. So younger the okra is a better quality you will get, but then you will get more seeds to that okra. I want to leave these char from the tomato. There's a little eye here in the tomato. I want to get that out. This is where the stem part is. Just cut as much as you can and just get that out and leave that char because we need some of that char in there. These 2 peppers, I'll get to them just now. And all you do is just give a nice little chop. And remember, in here we have some garlic also going on. Nice little chop. There's your hot chilies that was in there, that was infused. So cut all of this up. Nice little cut. They're all soft and nice and releasing their flavors. So let me finish up. Okay, foodies, so now for our aromatics. Here I have 4 allspice seed and 4 peppercorns, which we will call black pepper. So just give it a little mash, just like so. Just crack them. That looks marvelous. Now in this, oh, I missed one right there. So now I'm going to eyeball a half a teaspoonful of cumin seed. This cumin seed is not roasted. And here I have fennel. I'm going to put a 1/4 teaspoonful for that nice minty taste. Now this is raw. You're not going to be putting any, you're not going to roast it. Then that 2 Kashmir dry chilies, just drop it in there. And let me give this a good mash, just like so, until it gets to a little powder. So there you go, foodies, nice and powdery. Remember, this is my twist I'm putting to this Murtani. So this is the dry spices. Really lovely. It smells divine. Only if you could smell my kitchen. And to this dry spices, my dear foodies, I want to add 1/4 teaspoonful of amchur powder. Amchur powder, which is mango. A nice tangy, sweet and sour taste. So this is a highly requested video. I never made it before, but I'm going to try to make it for my foodies, to please my foodies. And this is my version of making this Murtani. It's a signature dish in the island of Trinidad and Tobago. So this is Jenny's version. 1 of that bird's pepper, the garlic, and this is the bottom part of that shadow benny. In goes that. You could give it a little pinch of salt, so it's going to help mash that up really nicely. And let me get this all going again now. Be right back. Okay, foodies, so this looks about right. So this now is my wet stuff. So we're going to take this out and I'm going to put it on the side. And I'm going to slice the onions. I'm actually going to dice that red onion and that shallot really nicely and put it together here. So now at this point, what we want to do, I'm going to add the okra in together with the peppers. Now, if you have a blender or food processor, which I do have, or mini chopper, you can use that. But I just want to do it the traditional way today. So now in the mortar and pestle, and I'm going to give this a good mash, and we will be back. So foodie, this looks at about right. You know, growing up as a kid, I never knew this dish. And as me Johnny's Walk start doing my food videos and all of that, I started to see a lot of dishes that I never grew up on being requested. So I will research and I would look at it and I will try it. You know, here at Jenny's Walk, we had to learn, we had to share, we had to create. So this was really something new to me. I have seen it over the past few years, but I never really indulged in it until it was highly requested. So this looks about really good now. So I'm going to add, the baigan is good. The eggplant, baigan, aubergine, that's fine. You don't need to give that a crush. So I'm going to give the tomato crush now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my saucepan up on the heat. I'm going to be using ghee and grapeseed oil. So let me finish mashing this and that aubergine or eggplant, and we will be right back. So you give it a good mash, and this is how you will do it, and you will give it like the grind, like how your granny would use the mortar and pestle. Sorry, the lorha and sill. So this is the mortar and pestle that will really give you that type of texture. And as I say, if you want to use your food processor, your blender, that's fine, but I really want to make this authentic for all my foodies in that beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago and in Guyana, and of East Indian descent that's all over the Caribbean islands, the West Indies, and my foodies in India. I have a lot of you following me from the different states in India. Thank you for joining in, and you could put in the comment below how you enjoy yours and how you make yours. Of course, it's going to be different because Jenny's Walk, I do things differently, add flavors. We're here to learn, we're here to share, we're here to create. So this is all done now, and you know the eggplant, this doesn't need anything, just a little pound, and we'll be ready to get this Murtani together. Highly requested recipe here from Jenny's Walk, Murtani. It's a traditional recipe in that island. It's a signature dish that you will find in most occasion when you go, like weddings, the prayers, the Hindu community when they have their prayers and breaking their fasts, and that big feast in the Muslim also. It is a nice condiment that you will enjoy on the side, like the pickles and the hot sauce. This is really what this dish is. So let me finish up and put this lovely Murtani together for you. Okay, foodies, so that's my grapeseed oil in there, and I'm going to eyeball to that 1 tablespoon. No, this is like 1.5 teaspoonful of ghee. And here I have my ghee. It's on my page, how to make your own ghee at home. So in my platter over here, I have the shallots diced and some red onions diced. We're just going to put that in there to soften up just a little bit. And I have some curry leaf that I chopped really finely, as you can see there. And that bandania and the garlic that we gave a good mash in the mortar and pestle. In goes that. Really lovely. Just give it a little. We're not cooking it too much because remember, this is a little condiment that you will crunch the onions a little bit in your mouth. So let's raise the heat a little more. Highly requested video here, recipe from Jenny's Walk for my foodies who want to learn how to make this. Thank you for making it together with me. It's my first attempt to make this lovely signature dish from that beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago, put in my own little twist. And here is that grounded spices that we did together. So let's just infuse it a little bit into the oil to wake up its flavor. You're not going to be burning it up. We're just going to wake it up. A little 30 seconds in there. Wow. The aroma in the kitchen now is to die for. Once those spices hit that ghee and that oil, you know the spices are up. They're all awake now, foodies. There you go. This looks marvelous. This is just about perfect as it can get. So now in goes all that vegetable, sliding out really nicely from that bindi, ladyfinger, or okra, whatever name you know it as. And now in goes my salt. This is Himalayan pink salt. You're going to add salt according to your likeness, how much you want to add. And of course, a teaspoonful of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Lemon or lime, whatever one you want. Whenever you cook in that aubergine, baigan, melangen, it's always good to add a drop of that lime or lemon juice. It tends to give a little itch. Some of you may know about that. It gives me a little itch in the mouth. So to cut that little itchy, that is what you will do. Now, if you do not want to do this frying method, you can also do the chunky method where you will use your kalchul or your small little pan like this, and you will roast up your garlic and your pepper, your chilies, your cumin, and you will put it together. So now this is all done. If you want to give it a little more cook, Everything is cooked to perfection already. And I'm going to turn the heat off and let it sit here. I'm going to put the lid back on, and I want all those spices to really get into this Murtani. So what I went ahead and did, I fried the curry leaves. So I want it to sit right in here and let everybody release their flavors for 10 minutes. So there you go, foodies. That lovely Murtani that I promised to make for you, my foodies who requested, highly requested video. So there you go. Divine. Let me take a taste of this, my dear foodies. Stick my finger right in there. Mmm. Divine. That lovely taste of the cumin is carrying around all around in my mouth. And that little sliminess you get there from that okra. Nice spices and garlic there. Lovely dish here from Jenny's Walk. Highly requested Murtani. That signature dish from that beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago. So thank you all for joining in. Lovely dish here. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. From my kitchen to your kitchen. Happy cooking.